it did feel a little rickety in the beginning, like there was, but I think once we started like playing off each other's energy, because there's so much that I remember because of how he said something and then I would respond a certain way.
Or when you're capturing banter between two people, you cannot do it verbatim.
Yeah.
Like it has to have that much breathing space for people to add their own elements to it, and it only adds to the drama.
Hi, welcome to Peeping Moon. I'm Rashita Sahani, and today I'll be chatting with Sumit Vyas and Nidhi Singh for Permanent Roommates, He Said, She Said, that released on Audible Suno. So, firstly, tell me, how did this idea of converting it into an audio show? So, Permanent Roommates has been such an iconic show, and it released at a time when web wasn't even like that popular a thing. It released on YouTube, and it did really well. So now making it into an audio show, how did this idea pop out?
I think it came from Audible, if I'm not mistaken. Hai na?
Yeah.
They, to be very honest, the Audible Suno were, they came up with the idea of how about we do a season of Permanent Roommates for Audible, and yeah, we jumped on it because it was so exciting. It was such a nice next step for the show. It was a fun, lane to take, and yeah, we were more than excited about it.
Yeah.
Nidhi?
Although my theory is that they liked Sumit's voice so much that they said we need to listen to him. He's got such a good voice.
Okay.
But this idea came from them to us, and I think the minute I heard that they want to do an Audible series, I always thought that, I've always found the audio medium, not just singing, but even radio plays and everything since childhood. Like, I've always been very fascinated by them. I remember listening to, the cassette of Sholay with just the dialogues and listening to it again and again. So I've always been very fascinated by it. So first I thought they want to maybe recreate the whole thing and make it audio.
Yeah.
But then they said, no, we want to do a series of what happened between season 1 and 2 and when they actually started living together and what might have happened. And that was just, that was something we had never seen in either of the seasons. The first season, Mikesh comes in, then he leaves, and the second season, they already been living together, and then they have other things that happen. So we never saw how it was when they were living together. So we thought it was a great idea, very exciting, So when it came, we jumped on it, and there were so many great contributions that even Sumit gave to the script when we read the script, and he was like, you remember we said that in season 1, so let's not do it here, it just felt like a true collaboration. It was really fun. It was very freeing because there was no visual, it was just audio, so we just had to get the dialogue right. So
and was it challenging to get back to the roles of Mikesh and Tanya again, because it's been a long time and there was a break in between? So how was it?
It was. I think it took at least 1 day, 1 or 2 days of first 2 readings to sort of get the sur right. But once you find that note, then it's slightly easier. Also, actually, Nidhi remembered so many things in detail about what we had said, and the minute details of what was plot points and everything. While season 1.5 was being written, that we've already said this in season 2 on episode blah blah blah, and I was like, oh man, she really knows it. She still remembers it. So yeah, you could have wild ideas, but you have to keep in mind that there is already when you go back
information.
To a season, it's tougher.
And some information that you've already given to the audience, you can't go against that information. You can't. You have to stay true to the character. Something, for example, like Tanya doesn't have a Facebook page, so we cannot have anything about social media because she is not on social media, and that was established very clearly. So things like that, we remembered small things, and so that really helped. And but I think one would think that it would be very difficult, and to be very honest, when I came into the studio, I was just maybe I should have watched the one of the episodes, or maybe one season to get it right. And but like when we came in, it did feel a little rickety in the beginning, like there was. But I think once we started like playing off each other's energy, because there's so much that I remember because of how he said something, and then I would respond a certain way. And I think that just became a way of our play even while filming the series. That we would feed off each other's energies. And so that's why also we even I said, and I think even Sumit said, that please make sure that we are recording together always. We are never like that he comes and he records his and I will come and record my bit. Like, let's not do that, because we both know that we both improvise a lot also, which is very annoying for people, but we both do it a lot. So yeah.
No, and especially when you're shooting banter, or when you're capturing banter between two people, you cannot do it verbatim. Like it has to have that much breathing space for people to add their own elements to it, and it only adds to the drama. So, and that can only happen when two people are present in one place. That's basic.
Okay. Yeah. And now, do you think it will appeal to a larger audience with the audio show?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's already doing very well apparently on Audible, and especially like Nidhi was saying, today's the time that we are in, people are doing so many household chores. Their hands are busy. They're busy doing so much at home. It's actually difficult to sit down and watch a show, and easier to just put your headphones on and listen to something while you're doing something else.
Yeah. Yeah, so like, I mean, obviously none of us had any idea about like there being a lockdown or anything, but this was released and the lockdown was announced. So I think that also made a lot of people listen to the show. I mean, the right audience reached the Audible series quicker than they would have otherwise, because like I know that during the lockdown I started listening to a couple of podcasts. I'm still not very good at it, but I started doing it only in the lockdown. I have always wanted to do it, but I started doing it only now. So I think that turned out to be a bit of a blessing in disguise, for sure. And anyway, anything that is spoken is such an intimate medium. Even storytelling, like we were first introduced to it because our grandmom or granddad told us, some folklore or some anecdotal story about something that is in the house. Your parents telling you stories. So I think just listening to something is just it's a very, it just reminds you of your childhood, like just sitting and listening, because we don't listen anymore. So it was so nice that people were just listening to us and responding to us. So.
Okay. And while you were recording for it, was there like, of course, I'm sure there must have been nostalgia, but did it like take you to the old days when you used to shoot for the show?
Yeah, of course. There were so many moments. Actually, the good part was that even though there was a fresh script written for it, and by a different person, because the last 2 seasons were written by Bisupati Sarkar. It was written by one person, so it had one language. But the new writing team, kudos to them. They managed to get that same element in the fresh script. So much so that when we started reading it, we almost felt like, oh, we're back at home. It almost feels like home. It feels familiar.
And I remember multiple times, because Sumit is he's very creative, of course, but he's also very business oriented. So he was just like, why aren't we shooting this? We should be shooting this. Why aren't we shooting this?
Yeah.
He was constantly like, I think I'm going to call Sam. I think I have to tell him we need to start shooting. Like, okay. Like, got so excited. Like, we should be making this into a series. So
of course, such fun episodes.
Yeah. And I'm sure people would also want to, so that's my next question actually, that, are you planning to either turn this into a visual show as well, or, something like Permanent Roommates 3 is in the works, something like that?
We would really want Permanent Roommates season 3 to happen. What also happened is, actually, by the time season 1 and 2 came out, there were a lot of shows on similar lines that came out, and some of them were very good also. So the novelty of Permanent Roommates was that when it came out, not much content of that kind existed.
Yeah.
Besides it being very good, and it had great performances by so many people, and it had a fresh energy. उस किस्म का कोई content था नहीं. But by the time season 1 and 2 came out, so many shows came out, which were about couples, which were about small things that couples experience, day-to-day life, funny, relatable. So then, it was like a conscious decision that we took, that there is no point in just making another season because we can. You rather wait and make a new season when you actually have a new story or a fresh take on this existing story. Like Audible Suno doing audio series was a fresh take on what we had. So I think inshallah the writers will get some inspiration to write the third season. That's I think very, very important.
No, I was just like adding to what he was saying, that I think you can have similar love stories told in like 100 different ways, and Permanent is one of the ways of telling it, through Tanya and Mikesh, and we would love to be in their shoes all over again. It's a universe like we cherish so much, and I feel very, very lucky to be a part of it. And any day, like with my eyes closed, I would just rush out the door to shoot for this.
Yeah.
And we kept telling Sam so many times that we are spoiled, because the atmosphere that was created while shooting for the show on both the seasons, and the second season we almost shot for 6 months. We took our time and we shot it.
Yeah.
So it was a very luxurious style of shooting, not because we had expensive sets or any of that, but just the fact that we took our time to shoot the content.
And I think there were so many writing breaks because they felt that okay, we need to change something, and then they would take writing breaks. And I think like Sumit, of course, he's a very gifted writer as well, but I'm more a reader and I'm more of an audience. So for me, for the first time, I realized that the amount of time and it's a labor of love, and you cannot diminish the importance of it. It's so essential, and that's why there were lines that that would be written by the writer and his team, and we would just read it and well up and be like, wow, this is beautiful. There was never a time that we were like, oh yeah, this is not sounding good, we should change this. Never that. And I think today I realize it more than ever, that what a big luxury that is.
Yeah. And also I think there can be 100 shows on the same topic on similar lines, but what's classic remains classic forever. So I think even if a third season, I think the audience is expecting after this audio, of course, a third, and I hope to see it as well. So yeah.
So sweet. Thank you. Right. I would do 100 seasons Permanent, seriously. It's just something that one would never want to not be that's when as performers, that you feel like you've entered a universe and then you go back to your normal life. And it's not that I don't like my normal life, I love it. I don't want to change anything about it, but it's such a privilege to be a part of these beautiful universes created by such brilliant minds. And then you're just it's just like a make-believe world, right? Like at 5 o'clock you'd go down to play with your friends and then make up these stories and say, okay, so now there's a train coming from there, and all that nonsense that we did in our childhood. Imagine that being created by such great brains and just telling you, okay, now this is your part, now you say this line. It's such a privilege, so one would want to be a part of this forever. Why not?
True. Yeah. And what's your viewpoint on this latest trend of audio shows? Of course, you talked about it, that during the lockdown it has emerged very nicely. But do you think it's here to stay?
I think so. It has been around for many, many years. Actually, not many people were aware of it.
True.
And in India, there were, back in the day, All India Radio, BBC Radio used to do
radio
a lot
plays.
Of radio plays. My father back in the day used to record a lot of radio plays, and he would talk about it when we were young. And then when I grew up, BBC UK would come to India and record radio plays, and they were like films. It's like reading a novel, where you visualize everything and you're provided with the text. Similarly, you're provided with audio sounds, background score, everything. It's actually produced like a film. Just the visual part is not there. But the good part is that you visualize it. Everybody has their own visuals, uses their own imagination. And that's so unique for every viewer, you know.
Yeah. And to add to what Sumit is saying, I think when it comes to an audio or to audio as a medium, the telling of it is very essential. Now, also because audio is such an intimate medium, you know, 5 people telling you the same story, but there could be that one person. It's the way they tell the story that you want to listen to it again and again.
Yeah, correct.
So I think the telling of that story has to be extremely well curated and, you know, well conducted. So if done well, audio as a medium is so powerful. I mean, that is how we learned how to listen to stories as babies, as kids. That's our initiation into storytelling. So audio is something that will never go. Radio will never go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Nidhi and Sumit. It was great chatting with you. And actually looking
Thank you, Rashida.
seeing Permanent Roommates 3 as well.
Yeah, so are we.
Please God.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.